Hello and welcome to the NYN show. My guest today is Rosina. Shortly I'll bring her on for her to introduce herself. She attracted me because of her background. She specializes in insurance. She's also a mum. And so I thought, wow, what makes it work for you and what can we learn about insurance? I personally believe that's where the gap is within our African community. So hopefully Auntie Rosina will educate us so that we know which options we have. But can I ask you please to subscribe to this channel for us, our YouTube channel, NYN Global, so you can help us grow. Sister Rosie, can you introduce yourself to our viewers then please so they know who you are?
I'm Rosina Appiah, I'm Ghanaian.
Okay.
I'm a mother of 3.
All right.
And I would say I'm an entrepreneur. Because, yeah, I like to try new things, so I do a number of things.
Okay. So what are some of the things you're involved in then, please?
Okay. So some of the things that I used to work in a bank.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked in the bank for, I think, about 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So when I had my first child, I started a cleaning business. I wanted to start a business, but I wanted something that was less capital intensive.
Yeah.
And then I thought cleaning would be a good idea, and I love cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it would be something that I can do myself.
Yeah.
So I started with that. So I've had my cleaning company since 2013.
Well, that's remarkable. Did you go to school in England?
No,
Okay.
I schooled in Ghana.
I see.
I went to the only university in Ghana,
Legon.
University of Ghana, Legon.
Yeah.
So that's where I schooled.
Okay.
And then when I obviously came here, I used to come here when during holidays
Yeah.
just to find some work, make some money,
Mhm.
shop, and then go back to school.
I see.
And finally, when I completed in 2006,
Yeah.
I came. It wasn't to stay though.
Yeah.
It was only just to obviously make some money, and I had plans to start my own business, events. So that's what I did, but eventually I don't really know what happened. What happened? I'm still around.
No,
So,
but
yeah.
you said the only university. Is it like the?
It's the
What-
best. It's the best.
It is the best. Oh, obviously.
That's what we say.
University. I mean, my dad went to Legon. In fact, at one point he was the SRC president. So, yeah, but obviously there are lots of universities in Ghana.
Ghana,
There is
yes.
the Kumasi one, the
Yeah,
UST.
UST, yeah.
I know, is there any more? I think there are
I think
other.
there are a lot more like private ones now as well, yeah.
And there's Valley View University, the
Exactly.
SDA University, yeah. In OUB or something. I mean, I've driven past it. But no, it's great to hear all about your experience, because I think one thing I'm trying to showcase on this show is the transition people make when they come. Because there is this perception that when you come into the country and you lodge with somebody who does cleaning full time, you probably end up becoming a cleaner for your entire life in England. But there are times that you can transition into other things. So hearing your story, some of it, because we've got more to explore, in terms of how you came in and what you've achieved already is remarkable. What was the first job you did then when you decided to settle? Did you ever do cleaning for money?
Of course, I think my first job was my first job, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I did cleaning. I work in a warehouse, not too far from here, or from Cross.
Oh no, okay.
At some point, I used to do 2 jobs. So I'll
Uh-huh.
go for that at night shift, and then I used to do cleaning, home
Uh-huh.
cleaning.
Oh,
So I'll go
wow.
to like different homes and do cleaning, and go and have a sleep, a little bit of a sleep, and then start again. So yes, same.
That's
Nothing
great.
different from most people.
How did you get a job in a bank in England, and did you have to do any course?
Right, okay, so I had to go through like a process. So at the time that I joined, you had to initially do a phone interview. So they'll do a bit of maths test and ask you a few questions. Once you pass that, then they do a bit of screening, and then you do a second interview. They will ask you further questions. And then you go and do a written aptitude test.
Mhm.
If you go through that, then you go and do a face-to-face. So it was a long process. But luckily for me, at the time when I was going through that process, I got a contract admin job through an agency.
Mhm.
So whilst I was waiting for all the processes, I was doing that job. But yeah, and then I finally got in. I started working for it's a high street bank. I started working for them in 2008, August. I remember very well. July actually, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing because I know some people when they come in, regardless of having a degree or something in their own country, they just don't feel confident enough to even look at jobs like that. They'll just look for the next thing they can find, example cleaning or anything, but even warehouse, and that sometimes is what they end up doing for their entire life. So that's good. Let's talk a bit about your children. So you've got 3 children. How old is your first one?
Right, my eldest is a girl. She's 9, and I've got a son, 7, and my daughter is 5. My last daughter.
I see, you've been busy. Well, I've got 2 kids. My son is 13 and my daughter is 11. So do you still work for the bank?
No, I quit working for the bank in 2018 because at the time when I had my last daughter, I got really involved with my business because so it made a lot of difference in my cleaning. It grew quite dramatically, and so I still felt I took a career break after my maternity. So I had 2 years to obviously take good care of my business, and then after the 2 years ended, I decided. When you have this feeling where you're not sure whether you really want to let go, even though they had not been paying me for quite some time. So I still went back to work for I think I opted to do just a day once a week, and they finally agreed. But I only went for the first week, and I was convinced that, I can't do this anymore. Yeah. I'd rather invest that time in my own business, and I felt like the yield would be much more. So I quit.
Okay, so now we know you do cleaning. You have cleaning business. What kind of cleaning is it? Is it still home cleaning, or do you do something else?
No, so actually, at the moment, I have a lot more commercial than the homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see. That's impressive. Obviously, you've got people who work for you then.
I've got, yeah.
How many?
I have got currently, before the corona, I had a lot more, but because some of the businesses are closed because of the corona. So I think now maybe I'd say about 6 still, about 6 or 7 still working.
That's so impressive. So do you remember any tree at all then,
Tree? It's my language, big tree ba.
Hey. And you're doing tree so kakra neja. Yeah, to say apart from cleaning business now one, then you now say.
Okay. I mean now one of the main things that I do is insurance.
Yeah, catch you.
Well, I know when I'm here no. But course I'm here pa insurance. And no Mr. T about 2 years ago.
Okay.
I met a mom that Michiano with the Manicos music school, music school on Saturdays, and she actually tried to sell me insurance. Okay. Because she had started working for this company that brokerage. Yeah. And then I said, oh wow, that's something that I would like to do because I've got experience in it. I used to do insurance when I worked for the bank. So yeah, I just joined as this would be like nothing, like it won't feel like work to me, and it was self-employed as well. I like everything self-employed because I want to have time for my kids and I want to be there. I like to be in charge. So yeah, so I started and I'm loving it so far. I still do it. Okay. And at the moment, what I really want to do is to educate our community, our Black community, about the importance of having insurance.
Okay. So that's something I'm curious. I guess that's what attracted me to you, or you to me, in the sense that I wanted to invite you into this space so you can educate us, tell us more about insurance. So let's have a bit of a chat about insurance, and I'm quite happy if we stick to English for this, just so we can hopefully reach more people who don't speak Twi. So when we talk about insurance, what is insurance? What are the types or variations of insurance?
Well, there's so many types of insurance, but I specialize in personal insurance. Okay. So anything to do with protecting yourself, your family, and your business, your home, that's what I deal with. Okay. So things like life insurance, critical
illness maybe?
Critical illness, Income protection, home insurance, mortgage protection, accidents, personal accident. Those are the kind of things that I deal with, and business insurance, yeah, like public liability, indemnity, and all that, yeah.
Okay. So how do you go about in insurance? Do you get phone calls by people to, you get phone calls from people to say, I want you to do this for me. How does it work? So if, for instance, I'm sitting here talking to you, or somebody is watching you and they've heard about, is it personal insurance you specialize in? How would they go about in having that first conversation?
Right. Okay. So it's a free consultation that I offer. So when somebody initially contacts me, I educate them about the importance. So I have a chat with them first, get to know them, and then I educate them tell them about what can benefit them. I mean, obviously, life insurance is a basic one that most people know about, but sometimes they don't even know that life insurances, we have types, we have a term. Because every life insurance, most of the time when you ask, maybe in our community, if you meet somebody who has life insurance, you ask them, I have life insurance, it's for life. But they don't know that life insurances, they've got like an end date to it.
Okay.
They don't know all that. So I try to educate people to understand what they have and what the benefits are.
That's interesting. But before we go in a bit more depth about life insurance, you said there are lots of insurance. I mean, I know of mobile phone insurance because obviously I don't want my precious phone to not be insured. And I know about what other insurance? Car insurance because I drive. What are the other types of insurance there are in addition to personal and car and mobile phone insurance?
Well, there are so many other insurances depending on, I mean, the insurance basically is another company taking a risk. So you are paying for them to, if something happens to you, then they take ownership of the risk. Does it makes sense? So if like for a mobile phone insurance, they've taken the risk. If something happens to your phone, then they pay for it. You don't have to pay from your pocket. Obviously, there's an excess for you to pay, but then irrespective of how much it will cost, all you need to pay is the excess. So it just gives you that peace of mind that if something should happen, then you are protected, basically. So there are a lot of insurances. There's, like I said, for businesses, there's indemnity, there's public liability. There's so many insurances for everything. I mean, you can, I mean, I'm sure the rich people can insure even their mouth. I've heard it before. So, I mean, insurance, there are a lot of insurances.
People who invest a lot, I've heard, don't take my word for it, invest a lot on their face, like going through plastic surgery, can't insure their face because if you punch them, then obviously they're covered by it. But no, let's spend more time talking about this personal insurance, including life insurance. What are some of your clients? Where are they from? What's their background? Do you have lots of Africans or Ghanaians going into insurance?
Well, I think I'm just trying to obviously create awareness. So I'm reaching out to a lot more people like you and people who are well connected to sort of introduce me to forums where I can educate our community. Because, I mean, we hear a lot of stories where some people's loved ones pass away and then they have to go on like GoFundMe and stuff like that to solicit for funds for burials and things like that. And I feel it's not a good thing. We spend money, like you said, on mobile phone insurance. What would really happen if you don't have insurance with a mobile phone? It's not really. I mean, it's important to us. I mean, if we are insuring our mobile phones, what about our very lives? Imagine if you have a machine in your home that gives you £200 or say £500 every week. Would you insure that machine?
Probably I will, because I want it to be able to continue to give me that money.
Exactly. So that machine is you.
That's a test question.
That machine is you, is us. Because this is the machine that goes out to work to earn you the money that you make. So, to be able to feed your family, to be able to have the kind of lifestyle that you have with that money. So if something happens to this machine, there will be no money coming in. So, I mean, really, we should really take pride, and we are more important than anything else, because without you, there will be no money there'll be nothing.
Yeah, but what intrigues me about what you said is the fact that when you take up a life insurance or personal insurance, it's not really for life, so it has an end date. So what if, for example, I've taken up a life insurance with the view that I want it to be for life really, and then you tell me, no, you can't have it for life. What happens in that? I mean, give me an example of a typical situation.
When we take like life insurance, for instance, we have 3 different types of life insurance. We have a term insurance. That's what most people have. It's the most affordable. So that's the one that has an end date to it. We have decreasing life insurance. Normally it's used against a debt. So if you have a mortgage or if you have a loan, you can use that take a life insurance that is a decreasing against that. And we have a whole of life that covers you. It doesn't matter when you die, but that tends to be very expensive. And if you should tell a normal Ghanaian person that pay £100 or £200 for a life insurance policy, they probably would scream. Yeah. So most people tend to go for the term insurance. The term insurance, and everybody has their own reasons for taking insurance. Some people want to take it for maybe till when their children are much older. Yeah. Some people want to take it, well, I would recommend based on obviously your circumstance and your affordability as well. So the term one tends to be more affordable. So hence the reason why a lot of people go for that one. But I would normally say that if you can afford it, do it for as long as possible, because you would want your children to benefit if you should pass away. Yeah. And yeah, so that's what it is. It all depends on your affordability, and that would affect what I would recommend.
So as an example, I'm 44 now. I've got 2 kids. What would you recommend I do, like in terms of insurance? Okay. Because we're talking about the term, and obviously I can't afford the for life one. What would you recommend for me to take up if I come to speak to you?
Right, okay, so I would recommend a term, since you can't afford to pay for a whole of life policy. So it will be a term, but I would, if you can afford to do it, most of the insurance companies can offer you up to 90 years, which at the moment the life expectancy in the UK for a lady is around 82. So it still gives your children a better chance of benefiting from what you are paying into.
So from what I've picked up so far, you have to put in some money every month, because it's what that is what you pay the policy. You used to pay the policy. So I guess, does it then depend? I don't know. Well, I guess I'm trying to ask is, how much does it cost on average to take up an insurance?
Well, that's the premium. It's difficult for me to tell how much, because it's an individual thing. It's based on the premium that you pay for your cover depends on your circumstance. I see. So for instance, you're 44, and if you don't have any medical conditions and you're not overweight, your policy
I just want to make
your BMI
okay, yeah, let's continue.
And you're not overweight and your BMI is good enough, it would not be the same as somebody who is overweight and have a lot of like health issues. Okay. So it all depends. It's an individual thing. The premium depends on the individual and obviously what their health and other things.
Okay. I guess from what you've told me, the best thing for anybody to do is to start that conversation. Yeah. So if we put your number on the screen, people can contact you if they've got questions they want to ask. But yes, they have to put in money every month, but they speak to you, you work out what the best policy is, and you recommend it to them. What I've heard people say sometimes is the fact that you pay into an insurance, but when it comes to the point where you want to make a claim, it becomes an issue. Have you come across that, and why is that the case?
Yeah, a lot of people ask that question, but then the thing is, if you're taking out an insurance, it's your responsibility to disclose everything about you. So if you have a medical condition and you don't disclose it, you think that, oh, it's not important for me to disclose it, then if something should happen to you, if you should die, then it wouldn't pay out. So those are some of the things. And then sometimes as well, the person advising you could also advise you wrongly. But I mean, if if they investigate and that's the case, you will still get your money. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. But I guess, it's worth having a conversation at least.
Yeah.
And hopefully we've got enough for our viewers to know, and we will definitely have your number because people will contact. Sister Rosie, you've educated us enough. What I wonder though is if somebody should ask that question, are you the broker? Do they pay their money to you? What would you tell them? Do you have companies you work with, or how does it work?
Okay, so I work under the license of a brokerage, and then we do the insurance with any of the insurance companies in the UK. So depending on your circumstance, when I have a chat with you, I may recommend you to Aviva or Scottish Widow or Zurich or Royal London. So yes, so we've got all the, we do the insurance with the insurance companies in the UK, not with me.
Oh, okay.
I wish.
That's
I wish you were paying your monies to me.
Yeah, so I guess what you're doing is just the middle woman in this case,
Exactly,
where you
so,
help people get the right, what's it called, the right insurance subscription, or what's the term? The official policy, that's it.
So
the right
educate them, explain it to them, answer the questions they may have, and put them in the right direction. So recommend the best product for them, and then also the best policy for them.
Excellent. Thank you. So how do you manage to make it all work? A mom of 3, entrepreneur, because you have this cleaning business, you have this insurance thing. How does it work? How do you get support?
Well, okay, luckily for me, I mean, it's just by the grace of God.
Okay.
Well, I'm a Christian, so I believe in God. I believe that He's the one who gives me the strength to carry on. But then I've got a network around me. I've got my mum there to support me. I'm a single mum.
Yeah, okay.
So
I'm a single mum.
Well, so I've got my mum to support me, yes. So that really, really helps.
Okay.
Really, really helps. It helps me because I like to move around.
I see.
So it helps me with the moving around and doing stuff that I want to do. So yeah, that's good. And I get to spend a lot of time with my kids. I get to take them to school. I get to pick them from school because most of the time I work from home or from an office space. So yeah, very flexible in that sense.
That's good. I'm very happy to hear. What kind of mum are you though? Are you the strict type? Are you the flexible type? What would your kids say about you?
I would say I'm strict. I'm more on the strict side because my daughter, like, even when she's a little bit unwell, she's saying, no, I'd like to go to school because you would make me learn all day. My school at least would give me a break. So yeah, I think I'm more on the strict side. But then I try to strike a balance as well, because it's good to obviously play with them as well, and then obviously be strict where you need to be strict, and then be flexible where you need to be flexible.
And that's what you can do as a mum, especially if you're a single parent, because you're trying to set good examples for them. So in bringing our chat to a close, what are your personal values?
Right, okay, so my personal values is, I believe, like, as a woman, it's working hard as a woman, not just obviously sitting at home. Yes, being a good example to your children, because if you should ask my children right now, they want to do all the things that I do, so it makes me think, if I wasn't working, what would they think of doing? Then they would grow up thinking that I also don't want to do anything because they didn't really see mommy doing anything. So I think it's very, very important as a woman to be independent and not just sit at home, but try to do something. Try to make something out of your life. Life is not just about having children and taking care of them. It's about, what do you want to achieve as a person? What sort of aspirations did you have before the children came in or before you got married? So I think that is sort of, that is quite important to me, to be independent. I don't want to get up and go and ask my husband, oh, can I have money to buy.
Well, you're a single parent now, so if you depended on your husband, then what would happen?
Yeah, even when I was married, I was doing everything that I've done. So yeah, it's quite important. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much for your time.
Thank you
What
for
are the
having me.
3 key things? They don't have to be 3, but what would you like people to take away from this conversation today?
Okay, so what I would like people to take from this conversation that we've had today, it's obviously ultimately contacting me to talk about their insurance. For me to educate them about the importance of insurance, it's very, very important that we cover our lives, we protect, we put things in place to protect our families and our loved ones. So that is very, very important. And also to also, I mean, I don't know, I'm talking just about women, because I'm a woman.
Of course, yeah.
For the women out there as well to do something, to make something out of their life, to be independent. You know, I'm not saying that be independent as in disrespect your husband, or, I mean, your husband is the head of a home, so give him all the necessary respect. But then also, you are if you have a husband, you are your husband's supporter. You're there to support him to achieve what he also wants to achieve, and then obviously achieve what you want to achieve as a mother or as a woman. So I think being independent, it's very important, or fulfilling something. I mean, do something. I think it's very, very key. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, that's enough. No, I said 3, but
I tried to look for something else.
No, you've given us 2. I mean, if you can think of anything else, why not?
Yeah, basically. And then also, I think that just talking to people, because sometimes you may have an idea, but you wouldn't know what to do. Like, I know that, because recently I've had quite a number of people contacting me and saying that, oh, this is what I want to do. Can you help me? I mean, I'm sure there are lots of people around who wouldn't mind sharing their knowledge for free, just to help you, direct you in the right direction, help you set up whatever you want to set up. And there are times that, I mean, I've had people as well where they want to do something, but they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many things that that are around now, cropping up. Network marketing, there's so many things. Do something. And I feel in our community as well, I don't want to use the word lazy, but we are, in a way.
A bit laid back, maybe?
Well, too laid back, it becomes lazy. You're just, yeah. I mean, yeah, we tend to, when somebody speaks to somebody and about an idea that they want to have, once they realize that maybe they have to get a bit of education, or they have to pay some money to be able to acquire the knowledge, they sort of, it discourages them. And I think that everything has to start from somewhere. If you want to get somewhere, you have to start from somewhere. Don't expect to, I mean, no, if you start a business, it takes time for it to, you know, you have to nurture it for it to grow before it starts making you money. So we shouldn't walk away from our dreams because it would take some time to get to where you want to get to. I don't know if I'm making sense.
You are making real sense.
We don't have to give up. I think we give up too easily. Yeah, so I think that, I mean, that's another thing that I want to say as well, that if you have a dream, pursue it, no matter what. Yeah.
Excellent, thank you. My last question. Only umba country you feel.
I
see. Thank you very, very much, Sister Rosina. I've learned a lot just by talking to you, and I hope that whoever watches her video as well will be inspired. But like we said, if you want to ask questions about insurance or anything she's talked about, she's happy to be your mentor. So yeah, do get in touch, because yes, we want to offer mentoring to people who watch us and are inspired and want to ask more questions. Rosina will do that. But on a serious note, let's take what she said into account. Let's think about it, and let's try and make provisions so that, God forbid, if the worst happens, we know that our family will be catered for. So thank you for watching the NYN show. Please don't forget to subscribe, because that's how you can help us grow as a channel, as a family. Speak to you soon. God bless. Bye.